Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to be discussing how many times the price of Bitcoin has crossed various price milestones. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. Let's start off with just how many times has Bitcoin crossed a dollar? You have to go back pretty far in Bitcoin's price history. Oh, look at that, Bitcoin dominance. Hopefully it gets above 60% soon. I'm recording this video on November 10th. We'll see if it can move higher by the time I release it. But going back to when Bitcoin was a dollar, it was a long time ago. But you can see that it passed that level a few times before ultimately it left it behind. It happened 4 times. How many times did it cross $10? 4 times. Now you might say, well, of course it was more than that. These are based on closes, like daily closes, not like intraday moves. So if you include, how many times did it really just move above it and below it is a lot more. But on daily closes, 4 times and then 4 times for $1 and $10. And then for $100, it took 7 times to kind of move past that milestone. $1,000 took 8 times. And then $10,000, it took 14 times. So what it shows you is that as the price milestones get higher and higher, Bitcoin tends to spend a little bit more time around those price milestones. So far, Bitcoin has crossed $100,000 7 times. Now, I'm just putting out this video because I just want people to be mentally prepared. We're probably going to cross $100,000 at least 7 or 8 more times in the future. More than likely. It would be my guess. Over a long enough period of time, that seems to be like the most likely outcome. So like when it feels very bearish and Bitcoin's going down, just know that like it's probably going to keep happening. And even if we do get another rally this cycle, it's still probably going to happen in the next bear market where we go below 100K. Just know that it's normal, right? Like this is what we've seen. And if you just kind of like look at all the different price milestones, here you have $1, right? And then you have $10, and then you have $100, and so on and so forth, right? Like Bitcoin continues to take out these milestones, but it takes longer and longer, for it to reach those different milestones, right? And so now, of course, you have also 100K, but you can see the different levels that Bitcoin has hit and when it hit them, right? There, obviously, earlier on, it was able to get through these milestones quicker, and then as time goes on, it's taking a little bit longer. But that's in line with the idea of diminishing returns. So my guess is we'll continue to cross 100K a few times over the next couple of, 2 to 3 years or so. If you look at this exponentially, and I guess maybe we can change this to see if that'll affect things. I guess it doesn't really. I think one of the things we could do is you go back to sort of the incremental values. And if you look at it like this, it shows you not just like every 10x move, but several different values along the way. Like this goes from 0 to 150K, and it shows you every $1,000. And what's interesting is that, these higher prices, we haven't crossed them nearly as much as some of the lower prices back over here. So what it suggests is that we'll spend some more time in this range over the next couple of years, sort of increasing the number of times we've crossed that price milestone. Because a lot of this stuff is just like people getting used to certain prices and accepting it. It takes a while for people to accept that like Bitcoin was $1,000, and it takes a while for them to accept that it was 10,000. Then it took a while for them to accept it was 100,000, right? It's a natural progression of Bitcoin as we go through the cycle. So I thought this was a pretty cool way to look at the market. I did videos on this back in like 2019, 2020. Back then we were talking about it at 10K, and obviously now it's at 100K. Maybe in many years from now it'll be at $1 million. I'll be talking about that. But in the short term, we're just looking at this, sort of these 10x moves, and just kind of seeing how it takes a little bit longer each time to spin at each of these price milestones before we surpass it and decide not to look back. We'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and again, check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.